Now, when Trudeau took office in 2015, the country was pretty much with him. As you can see, Saskatchewan and Newfoundland were pretty much the only conservative places. Newfoundland quickly flipped liberal. And here we are 4 years later. Look at the map. Holy moly, most of the country is conservative now, including parts of Atlantic Canada, and even Quebec is sort of conservative now. And I think that is undeniably due, at least in part, to a reaction to Trudeau. I think people are getting a bit sick of him. The polls say so. Yeah, of course, provincial politics is provincial politics. There's a lot of local issues, but Trudeau is the biggest personality in Canadian Liberal politics, and his policies have started to hurt the provinces, Alberta and Saskatchewan, obviously. I think you can lump Ontario in there too, especially with Trudeau's carbon tax and the Atlantic. Well, when you kill a $15.7 billion pipeline project called Energy East that was going to terminate in New Brunswick, and all your provincial premiers were Liberal, and they're turning into Trudeau's doormat. Yeah, I think Trudeau really was part of the mix for the results in the Atlantic. That's my theory, at least. So my point today is the Premier's letter from the 6 premiers to Trudeau, it's true, or true enough. There is a national unity problem here. There's a constitutional problem here, because the federal government, well, it would be nice if they actually championed jobs for the rest of us, other than just the corrupt cronies of Bombardier and SNC-Lavalin and Loblaws. But at the very least, perhaps they could stop blocking natural job creation, stop letting BC block pipelines. But they won't. Trudeau himself personally killed the Northern Gateway pipeline. This is a national unity problem. It really is. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from the Conservative premiers. Take it from, Canadians themselves. Here's a poll done by Angus Reid earlier this year. It asked an unusual question: who would you vote for federally if there were a Western separatist party around? I'm not surprised that in Alberta, which you can see right in the middle there, 40% of people would mark that X, but look at that. It's literally the #1 option in every Western province. It would be in a 3-way tie in Manitoba, but a tie for first. I note that the Conservatives would be the second place choice in every province too. Just as interesting is this breakdown. Take a look at this. The last one was by province. This is by age group. So every single age group is pro-separatist, including millennials, by the way. And I think it's interesting that support for this radical option, separatism is radical, it's strongest amongst older Canadians. I guess that's a reflection that people who have been around a while have concluded that we have a systemic problem in Canada. We had it before under the previous Trudeau. We had it in various degrees under Mulroney and Chrétien too. Canada's not really working for the West. So what did Justin Trudeau have to say about this Western discontent?
Quebecers are better than the rest of Canada because, we're Quebecers.
Yeah, of course. Come on. That's right. I showed you the wrong clip, didn't I? Or maybe that's exactly perfectly the right clip. He doesn't care. He baits and smashes the West to delight his friends at the CBC. In Montreal, to a degree in Toronto and Ottawa. He doesn't care about the West. Just like his dad. Here's what he said when he was in Ottawa. Look at the smirk here. I want you to look at the smirk and the sideways head bob. He does that when he's peacocking a bit. Take a look.
I think it's absolutely irresponsible for Conservative premiers to be threatening our national unity if they don't get their way. The fundamental job of any Canadian Prime Minister is to hold this country together, to gather us together and move forward in the right way. And anyone who wants to be Prime Minister, like Andrew Scheer, needs to condemn those attacks on national unity.
Look at that. The premiers are worried about national disunity because Canadians are worried about national disunity. But Trudeau says that by raising those concerns, the premiers are creating national disunity. By raising the concerns, by reflecting the will of their constituents, their voters, their industries, by representing their regions, they're creating a problem. They should just shut up. See, Trudeau didn't create the problem. There's no problem. Everything's great. Everything's great. Anyone who says they're a problem, they're the only problem. That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant show. Every day I do a video monologue and then I interview an interesting guest and then I end by reading my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at therebel.media/shows.